Rarely have two finalists arrived at Wembley with such contrasting preparations. Manchester United's fourth of 4 cup games in 10 days in 3 different competitions. Southampton haven't played for over 2 weeks and have been able to factor in a break in Spain. Plenty of memories of 1976 when Southampton, then at the old second division, won what remains their only major trophy, the FA Cup, by beating the then red-hot favourites from Old Trafford. The presentation involving Ian Lenigan, the chairman of the Football League, the guest of honour, Simon Milton, representing prostate cancer, the official charity partner of the EFL. Simon, of course, a former Ipswich Town player, and is very much engaged in fundraising for this worthy cause. Well, he's having a look at it. No more than that. The same applies to Zlatan as well. Not too many would recall 1986 and the consequences of Southampton beating United for the only previous time in this competition with such conviction that within hours United summoned a certain Alec Ferguson down from Scotland to replace Ron Atkinson as manager. As big a story at the time as Claudio Ranieri leaving Leicester on Thursday. It's time for the national anthem, led today by the British soprano Emily Haig. Well, it's a big day out for Southampton's fans. It's pretty much a regular day out for the supporters of Manchester United. Let's confirm the teams for you. Antonio Valencia, a winner here with United 7 years ago in this competition. It's Marcus Rojo who edges out Daley Blind at left back. Jesse Lingard, something of a Wembley specialist last year, comes in. Zlatan Ibrahimovic started his United career with a Wembley winner in the Community Shield in August, shortly followed by 2 against Southampton in the Premier League. Southampton have really known their team since the 4-0 win at Sunderland 15 days ago. A switch to 2 holding midfield players worked well at Sunderland, with Stephen Davis tucked in alongside Oriol Romeu. That allows Dusan Tadic to play more centrally. That's his preferred position. And now he's behind Manolo Gabbiadini. 3 goals in 2 games for the Saints so far. A short career, but a spectacular one. It's his League Cup debut today. A man for this type of occasion, Gary?
Yeah, absolutely. He's been absolutely fantastic for Manchester United. 24 goals in all competitions. And I was amazed. I think it says a lot about him that he travelled to St Etienne in midweek. He would have thought he'd been someone that had been rested. He wasn't. He wants to play every single game. And Matt Letitia mentioned about how big the challenges for Southampton's defence today, and a big part of this result will depend upon how young Jack Stevens handles Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Can he keep his concentration, his focus, and ensure that the shrewdness of Ibrahimovic doesn't catch him out?
on the wishes of the players. Southampton in a third choice kit. They've only worn it once before. It's not available in replica form for the fans. They wore it because of a colour clash at Bournemouth. They won that well, and they've preferred this to the black second strip that they wore in the win at Liverpool, because it is closer to the usual red and white stripe. So it's very much a red and white day here at Wembley as we're underway. And the first header for Antonio Valencia, and for James Ward-Prowse snipping in. And, Andre Mariner, the referee, has penalised Gabbiadini, who's been brought in and impressed everyone at Southampton, and indeed those watching the Premier League, with his finishing ability.
Yeah, I think his finishing's outstanding. I think he's sharp in and around the box. I don't think he's the quickest outside of the box, but certainly he's alert over 2 or 3 yards in the penalty area.
And Jesse Lingard, perhaps the surprise choice for Manchester United and Mourinho today. Good pressure started from Ander Herrera. He just looks to widen it a little to Valencia. A day of mixed weather in northwest London. A bit of rain, a bit of sunshine.
Well, 2 weeks without a game for Southampton. Certainly in this first minute, they're at it. They're after Manchester United, sprinting to the ball.
There is the feeling, Gary, amongst the Southampton players that I've talked to, that they've let themselves down a little bit in what you call the lower key games, but they've been really up for it under Claude Puel for the bigger games.
Yeah.
Trying to put that philosophy into the biggest game that they've had this season.
Yeah, it's the biggest game for quite a few of these players in their career.
United started at Northampton. Now the task is to see off Southampton and go home with some silverware. A wonderful progress by the Saints, who haven't conceded a goal, remember, in this competition. And in the quarter-final, won at Arsenal. In the semi-final, won home and away against Liverpool. And Gabbiadini coming in at the near post, where the run threatened. He didn't quite connect. Here's Cedric. Ward-Prowse is a good deliverer of the ball from wide areas in free play and at set pieces.
Yeah, it's good from Southampton. Chris Smalling actually did very well at the near post in letting it go. He had a decision to make. Gabbiadini running across him. It's one of those ones where if he does get a touch on it, it can fly into your own net.
United's free kick.
Well, he makes good runs across the near post, Gabbiadini. He's a boxman, it's a fantastic cross.
Ibrahimovic thought for a second he was away as we looked at that replay, but he was penalised for a push. Ward-Prowse. Stevens, who's played here before, he was on loan with Swindon, but he was on the wrong end of a 4-0 against Preston. Determined, he said, straight away after the semi-final, in which he played a big part at Anfield, semi-final second leg. But he was obviously determined to put that behind him if he got the chance to start at Wembley, which Claude Puel has given him. First time, incidentally, the Saints manager has named an unchanged team in his relatively short tenure at the club. Pogba. Ibrahimovic. Back for Pogba. They really are on the same wavelength, those two. Pogba letting fly, parried away by Forster. In low from Valencia, Southampton with enough numbers to deal with it. Bertrand trying to play his way forward, then trying to settle for a goal kick, which he just about got. He hit that, Paul Pogba.
Well, he refused Mata's run. Zlatan Ibrahimovic has used Mata's run there, turns that one down and plays it inside towards Pogba. Forster grateful, straight at him.
Well, they've had a heavy workload, Manchester United. It's already their 14th game of 2017. It's almost double that of some of the other Premier League clubs. Southampton themselves played 9 matches in January. They'll play only 2 in March.
I think if you think about Jose Mourinho in his career, he's always been like this, where he's played lots of games, been in lots of competitions in seasons.
Bailly, who had a difficult time in France, ended up with 2 yellow cards in quick succession, departing proceedings prematurely. Martial, Rojo. Done well at Wembley, of course, last year. FA Cup semi-final, FA Cup final, Community Shield, all won 2-1, all with late goals. Smalling, of course, got sent off in that FA Cup final. And so you'll remember, Gary, he scored a Wembley winner not long after that for England here against Portugal.
Southampton not going for the full press, they're just retreating into like a mid-area.
A sturdy Rojo's physicality may have got him the edge over Daley Blind.
I think one of the big challenges that they do have, Southampton, here today is on set pieces when Manchester United do get them to compete with them. But at the moment, providing good, solid shape. United struggling to be able to sort of get through it and work through it. Martial having to drop deep.
They're trying to work with Valencia, but Southampton blocking off their angles of approach. A little bit more of a press.
Well, they're going to have to do that because you have to protect those 2 centre-backs. I would think that is Southampton's weakness. Stop those balls getting in there.
It's got into Martial. Might get back from Lingard. Ibrahimovic chases this, and a little bit of a delayed reaction, but Forster was always going to get there first, I think.
And the interesting thing is that ball did get played into Martial. The reaction of Romeu and Davis was quick.
Here's Nathan Redmond, who's played here once before for Norwich in a playoff final for the Premier League and scored and won. And a big impact in this League Cup run for Southampton. Smalling. Technically, Jose Mourinho kept his players guessing as to what the lineup would be, and he told them this morning. There was a strong feeling that Michael Carrick would start. Couldn't get the nod in the end. Shouts for handball, and eventually the referee, just as Ibrahimovic was trying to pull the trigger, he's given the free kick.
Yeah, I must admit, there's no news coming out about the United team in the last 24, 48 hours. Sometimes you hear little snippets.
Had there been any news, you would have heard the snippet.
I have to say, I thought...
You're usually making the news, by the way.
I thought Carrick would play. I thought that Carrick would play with Herrera and Pogba in front, but I can see that Mkhitaryan is such a big loss, and his mobility to try and replicate that with Lingard, there's no doubt he's got the energy and the intelligence to be able to make those runs to join Ibrahimovic.
Ward-Prowse. Now Redmond to take proceedings by the scruff of the neck, and right, the shot was deflected. It was the boldness of the approach that caught the eye.
Yeah, he drifts in off the side, Redmond, and gets into a good position. He's direct. Just a little touch off Herrera.
Tadic with that wand of a left foot is going to take the corner.
Yeah, the delivery is good. More often than not from Tadic.
Short to Redmond. Only recognising the size of Manchester United. A deeper ball. It needed some defending by Rojo, and it's cost another corner.
He did well with Rojo in the end, because initially he got under the ball into a position that isn't the best when someone's directly behind you and your shoulders aren't open. And the delivery on the other side is equally as good. They have a little bit of a battle in the middle, but Ward-Prowse has also got fantastic delivery.
It's interesting, Romeo's not really known as a goal threat, and he's got Pogba marking him. The bigger guys that might free another Southampton player up. Good lead by Bailly. Away by Pogba, and United had pulled everyone back. And it's time for Cedric, of course, won a big prize with Portugal in the last summer. It's, the top nation in Euro 2016. So he shouldn't be fazed by playing a match as this is shaping up to be. And here's Ryan Bertrand on the burst. And there was only Gabbiadini in the box, and he went towards the near post. One back by Cedric, who goes on, and it's offside. Gabbiadini thought he'd continued his run and scored in 3 consecutive Southampton games, his first 3 for the club. Stuart Burt had the flag up.
It was absolutely brilliant by both Southampton fullbacks in that attack. Bertrand initially down the left-hand side, then Cedric following up. They have caused problems a couple of times down that left side in that first 10 minutes. Southampton got really good early crosses into the box, and they end up with one in the back of the net from the right-hand side that gets ruled offside.
Worth another look, Gary, this.
Definitely is, because I have to say my initial feeling was that I didn't know why it was offside. Oh, he's onside, Gabbiadini, but Bertrand is behind him, and the linesman's got attracted to that one. Well, he didn't move offside. It's Ryan Bertrand who stood in there.
And hardly interfering with play.
No. Southampton will feel incredibly unlucky.
He's such a quick mover, Gabbiadini. He's never stationary in the box, and he was just fastening on to that with what the replay has shown was a well-timed run.
Yeah.
Right back alongside Claude Puel, feeling the frustration.
Yeah, and he'll probably have had word from his analyst, who's seen it back. It was sharp from Bertrand down that left-hand side initially.
And then sharp from Cedric.
Well, Cedric, I mean, you're forgetting all the offside talk about the fact that Rojo really gave nearly a penalty away by sliding at the edge of the box as well.
And there's a freshness about Southampton, suggesting that the break has worked for them. It's early days. Tadic. Gabbiadini, Ward-Prowse coming around the back of him. Getting the ball into the box on a regular basis at the moment, the Saints.
With huge quality. I have to say that 2 or 3 of those crosses, Rojo's defended 2 or 3 of them himself. Even the 2 set pieces have been fantastic from Southampton, and they're putting United under pressure with these crosses.
Ward-Prowse. Into the box it goes again. Redmond is there. And Valencia can only put it into space that Lingard will try and chase down.
Well, they've settled down. Claude Puel, I'm sure, his initial message to his players, we've been hoping that first 10 or 15 minutes was a good one, and it has been.
Tadic, Redmond. Have a go here. He's better. He's not a natural goal scorer, as the semi-final showed. He had a lot of chances. Could have made it an easier path past Liverpool for Southampton.
And it's a couple of times he's done that. He's going for the hero moment. And this is the goal. Look how Bertrand's run's outstanding, and Bailly's no slouch. He goes past him. And then Cedric follows up. Does really well. And here I thought it's going to be a penalty. And he's onside, but it's Bertrand who behind him has caught the attention of the linesman. There you see Chris Smalling's foot playing him onside. And Southampton should be 1-0 up.
Romeo has had an outstanding season. Spaniard signed from Chelsea, where technically he worked under Jose Mourinho, didn't pick him. Same applies to Ryan Bertrand, of course. He did have a handful of Chelsea games in the Mourinho time.
I think Jose Mourinho will be watching Southampton at the moment thinking, will they be able to maintain this pace, this pressing, this level of running that they've shown in this first 15 minutes for 90 minutes, and hoping his team get through the difficult parts of the game, because they are at it at the moment, Southampton.
Yoshida. A test here for Stevens. Got a foot to it, and so too did Cedric on the slide. Now Smalling, and that was very well hit at all, and Redmond trying to wriggle away past Valencia. He continues to be a stalwart right back for Manchester United, a former winger.
Yeah, he's been outstanding this season, Antonio Valencia. I would say probably the most consistent player in a red shirt. He's very difficult to get around, so strong.
Pogba, advantage played United's way, and they get a free kick.
Shows his strength, Pogba. Bertrand just tries to nip round the front of Mata.
Here's Martial. Pass there to help Cedric.
Well, as you'd expect, 2 weeks on the training ground preparing for this game. They're well drilled in this first 15 minutes, Southampton. There's no spaces. And the energy's in the legs.
He's a crucial player. Amazingly, it's his first Wembley game at the age of 32. Northern Ireland captain as well. An outstanding career. Nothing would top it off better than holding up a trophy at Wembley, and I feel they should be a step towards that. You see the replays, denied the officials, of course. Always open the debate. Smalling. Mata coming in from the right-hand side. Lingard hasn't really gone out there to fill that space. We'll just get to this one. And Southampton just plugged a gap that was happening to open up rather dangerously from their perspective. But here's Martial, there may be more danger while he's given the free kick as Ander Herrera goes down. Andre Mariner has the yellow card in his hand for the first time, and it's going to be brandished in the direction of Oriol Romeu.
It's a silly one really from Romeu, because he's running across the pitch. Herrera, he's going to pass it anyway. It's gone, the ball. Why he slid in there, put himself under pressure, I don't know. They're hyped up, these Southampton players. You see there, he looks like he's just panting a little bit, Romeu. And that will be the challenge for these Southampton players. Can they maintain this level that they've shown?
It's his first Wembley game, and there are quite a few others. And the dimensions of it, even not taking into account the emotional stress of the final. That's where Manchester United do have the edge in big game experience. And maybe a big game free kick here from the big man. Pogba having hit one decent shot already, he's not ruling himself out. But it is Ibrahimovic. Talk about the man for the occasion. They haven't really been in it, Manchester United, but they lead. He has done it again. His 25th goal of this extraordinary first season in English football, very late in his career.
He's a monster of a character, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and it's a moment of magic. I have to say, I think Fraser Forster, I've got to be critical of him. I think he should save it. It's a brilliant free kick, but it's about a yard inside the post. He's slow to take off. It's a long way out, but it's brilliant from Ibrahimovic. It really is. And he knew that he'd have an impact in this game.
Here's Tadic. Just reached by Smalling, who gets it away. Only George Eastham for Stoke back in 1972 has been an older goal scorer in a League Cup final than 35-year-old Zlatan Ibrahimovic. 35 in 146 days, a couple of weeks behind Eastham.
Well, they've been good, Southampton, a good team start for this first 20 minutes, but Manchester United have match winners. Ibrahimovic, Mata, Martial, Pogba, big players.
Well, he hurt the Saints in the Premier League meeting at Old Trafford in August, very early in the season. A very different setup. Claude Puel was just learning about his new charges. 2-0 to United, 2 for Ibra. The passing of time does not diminish the skills.
No.
Romeo, who was, if you like, the architect of that, a rash challenge, a booking for him, and a goal conceded from the free kick. Here's Ward-Prowse. Smalling sticks out a leg. Corner for Southampton.
And crosses for Southampton have been the most dangerous asset so far in this game.
Stays on his line and leaves the others to deal with it. Maybe that's another reason why Rojo's in the team.
Well, Rojo, I have to say, he's cleared 3 or 4 times.
Every time Manchester United have scored first in a cup tie this season, they have won. But it hasn't always been a recipe for success in this particular cup final to get the opening goal. Romeo, Tadic.
You mentioned that challenge of Romeo, give away the free kick. You see, he's so intent on closing that space in between the 2 centre-backs and themselves, the central midfield players, and not letting players get into that space. They're just getting a little bit carried away, a little bit hyped up. Going to ground, didn't need to.
He's such a big man, Fraser Forster, with a great reach.
Yeah, he was slow off the mark, I have to say. He's a huge frame. He just seemed late taking off.
Tadic.
And also, the ball was about a yard inside the post. It wasn't in the corner.
There's Yoshida, who played at Wembley in the Olympics 2012. He was captain of Japan. He lost the semi-final here. Here's Redmond on the run, looking for Bertrand, trying to also inject some pace down that left-hand side, which has looked promising. First quarter of 90 minutes in which United have scored and Southampton should have scored, but the decision went against them. Cedric.
Well, the key for Southampton now is to stick to that plan that they had in the first 20 minutes, not let this goal bring them off track.
Well, another Spaniard booked. Herrera, who was on the receiving end from Romeo, is the culprit this time.
Not quite sure it's a yellow card, that one. Really, it's not. He's unlucky there, Herrera. It's a free kick, yes. No signs in that last Manchester United attack when they were on the ball at Southampton weren't as compact, that 2 or 3 of the forward players were maybe losing the discipline a little bit, chasing the game, which can happen when you have a disruption to a plan and you concede a goal.
It is, of course, the first goal that Southampton have conceded in the competition this season. Tottenham got to the final back in the early 1980s without conceding in the earlier rounds, but lost 3-1 on the big day to Liverpool. Put out by Yoshida.
Yeah, he did well, just a little too obvious from Jesse Lingard. Trying to play it into him.
It was interesting to hear Matt Le Tissier talking about Southampton fans not happy with Claude Puel because he makes so many changes. It would be easy to paint this as a team, Southampton, against a lot of good individuals in Manchester United, but I don't think that would be totally accurate. But they have had 2 weeks to work on their team work off the back of a good result with this starting 11 in their last Premier League game.
There's no doubt you could definitely see the plan that they've been working on in that first 20 minutes in the 2 weeks on the training ground. It's just whether they stick to it.
Sheeda wins the header against Ibrahimovic. Trying to help it on. Tadic likewise. Gabbiadini with 2 to take on that time. Here's Martial. Cut out by Davis. Tadic. Here's Bertrand. Of course, played in a Champions League final, a successful one for Chelsea. Played on the left of midfield then. He's gone into that sort of area ahead of Redmond. Romeo. Stevens. Been at Southampton a fair while. He was a signed player from Plymouth Argyle. It's as though he was going to be one of those passing through a Premier League team and not really get a career out of it, but circumstances have worked in his favour with the Jose Font wanting off and Virgil van Dijk, who's been truly outstanding, one of the top players in the entire top division. Now, on the sidelines and missing out today because of injury. They're also missing Charlie Austin, who's their top scorer too. Romeo. Lingard missed the caught him at the end. Advantage played. Tadic won it on his left foot to have a crack, and in the end he smothered out of it. There was just half a moment when he got it onto his left side. See a way through to goal. Here comes Southampton again towards Gabbiadini. King up, Ward-Prowse carried away, really connected. The man with the Portsmouth connection, Bobby Stokes, who got the winner in '76, came from Portsmouth, like James Ward-Prowse.
It was a good connection from Prowse, he hits it well, but De Gea is a fantastic goalkeeper. Gets down quickly, he's waiting for it and pushes it wide.
Pogba can't get away. Good response from the Saints. Redmond. Gabbiadini, it's just behind him.
It's that left side that is interesting for Southampton with Redmond and Bertrand. Yeah, causing a few problems for Mata and Valencia. It's out there again.
Redmond again. United have plenty back in their own penalty area, leaving Ibrahimovic a bit isolated. Forward by Stevens. They feel if they can get the ball down and play, they really can get at United, and there's been evidence for Claude Puel. That is very much the case.
Yeah, I think it'll be the wide areas, particularly that left-hand side, that will be giving him most food for thought at the moment, Jose Mourinho. With a shutdown, particularly that Bertrand threat. It's difficult for Mata, I think. He's not that type of player that'll be perfect to stay with him.
Martial. Here's Rojo. Ibrahimovic waiting at the far post. Forster, make sure it doesn't get to him. There's 2 England games here. Fraser Forster has been on the losing side both times. This club team trailing, coming up to half an hour gone in this EFL Cup final. Unfortunate to be trailing, but trailing.
I have to say, I think the linesman has made a mistake in that Southampton one, but it was inches. I mean, you think about that Gabbiadini, we stop it. He was moving in straight after that. Not an easy one. The linesman, even though he does get it wrong.
Good pressure by Pogba. Ibrahimovic has a look round over his shoulder, an old-fashioned look at the officials, but doesn't get any response. Certainly not the response that he wanted. Ward-Prowse and Gabbiadini is onside. Redmond racing into the middle. Tadic just holding out on the edge.
Bailly went back and Smalling played offside.
Swiped away by Rojo.
He was just left free in the channel. Chris Smalling had stepped up. Eric Bailly went back in.
Gabbiadini gets the better of Rojo here. Cedric, but there's no one far post. Out for United by Valencia. And, how they're feeling at the moment at the back. Southampton continue to pose problems.
Yeah, I think particularly down the right and left sides is where Southampton are having some joy. In the wide areas, Southampton have reacted well to that goal going in.
Redmond. Sliding it through for Tadic, has got the chance. And De Gea again in difficulties, and United open up here.
It's not good enough from Pogba. I nearly said it 3 or 4 minutes ago that Tadic had got in behind him. This time he does again, and this is really dangerous. It's a difficult one for De Gea. Doesn't quite get it as he should, Tadic, but it dips in front of the goalkeeper. But Pogba's got to do better, be aware of what's behind him.
Ibrahimovic is down at the moment. Yoshida.
He just gives him a little
elbow in the back.
Yeah, elbow in the back.
Stevens his head, and Lingard. Now Bertrand. Picked off by Ander Herrera. Hasn't seen too much of Juan Mata.
No, it's been tough for him so far. He's been chasing Bertrand back.
Gabbiadini. Support Cedric again. Just a little bit too much loft on the pass. Valencia can get there first. Still Mata can't influence proceedings. The speed and persistence of Bertrand beat him to it. Redmond.
Bertrand's all over him at the moment.
Pogba puts up a barrier for United on the edge of the area. Really, apart from the goal, it's been Southampton's half, or half an hour anyway.
Yeah, the big moment for United, I have to say, so far. Southampton couldn't have played any better.
Romeo. Yoshida. Bertrand. Redmond. Keeping the ball well. Southampton now trying to put a bit of gloss on passing by going further forward a bit quicker. They'll get a corner out of it.
Yeah, he went with a run. He made a mess of the header, really.
The short corners have been very much on the Southampton agenda so far.
I think they always try and set them up through Ward-Prowse and Tadic to try and make it almost like a shot they can... Delivery's fantastic, I mean, Ward-Prowse in particular.
Redmond goes out short again. It's whipped in. And Yoshida was just waiting to knock that into the net. And bit of hesitation all round.
It was almost like time stood still. What happened?
Stevens round the back.
Yeah, United appealing for offside with Rojo. But the delivery is fantastic.
Martial. Now, and Herrera. 10 minutes to go to half-time. United 1, Southampton 0.
One thing this United team have been in these last 3 or 4 months is resilient. Only 1 defeat in that second game against Hull in the semi-final.
That wasn't a terminal defeat, was it? Actually made sure they got here. Undefeated in 25 games, 16 unbeaten in the Premier League.
They've known how to get through games and navigate difficult moments where they haven't been at the best.
Martial able to turn and recognising the possibilities into Ibrahimovic. Well, Martial again followed his pass to Valencia. Chooses not to cross. Pogba. Now Rojo. Too many spells in the game where Manchester United have been in this kind of position, controlling the possession, and Southampton making sure that they stick to their instructions. Everyone knows their job when United have the ball. Pogba. Bay. Now Valencia. United won the trophy here in the 2010, beat Aston Villa in a contentious final. Pogba played that kind of pass for Ibrahimovic at Blackburn last Sunday. Not this time. All 5 of Pogba's assists in the second spell with Manchester United have been for goals for Ibrahimovic.
He tried to go back to front early. Southampton wall in front of him. Of all 11 players.
Davis, Romeo, Stevens. Here's Bertrand, to set off again, but Mata this time is filling the space in front of him, but the space elsewhere. Forward Prowse, and loses out, and the counter-attack is on for Manchester United, and Jesse Lingard and Martial, the two quickest players really. Martial goes again.
It was a good chance for him. He hasn't had many occasions like that in this game where he was one-on-one, driving in towards the box.
Mata. Here's Rojo. And time for Lingard to place it into the corner. Jesse Lingard, who loves Wembley, scores here again. 2-0 United. The star of the FA Cup success. A big player in the Champions League, the Community Shield triumph. And now here in the League Cup final. And he was given too much time and he made the absolute utmost of it.
Manchester United have put together a little passing combination on this left-hand side, and it's opened up Southampton. And Jack Stevens and Romeo just get in between. The centre-back thinks about coming across to Rojo, and he gets stuck, and they don't get across. And then you're just thinking about the composure. Can you finish Jesse Lingard? And he keeps his head, side-foots it into the corner, and Fraser Forster can't get down. It's through Yoshida's legs, which makes it more difficult for him. And Manchester United have played in moments in this first half, but they've had 2 very good ones, and they're 2-0 up.
Well, he's taking it very calmly. He knows his team haven't played particularly well, but they have finished very well. Yes, it's 3 in 3 for Jesse Lingard in 3 different competitions at Wembley.
Well, you think about the manager's decision. Would it be Carrick? Would it be Rooney? Would Rashford coming in, Mata coming into number 10? But the man he brought in has scored.
Davis. Redmond. All cause more concentration on the disallowed goal. Stevens.
It's a bad tackle.
Followed through
that is
there.
A bad tackle.
Now, Andre Mario was always going to bring that back. the original clip on Stevens, who went on and ploughed on, in truth.
I think he's in trouble, Martin. I think he's in trouble. From my first sight, it looked a shocker. We'll see it again, I know. But the Manchester United player's incensed. It's going to be yellow. My initial feeling is he's fortunate. Let's have a look at it.
There's the clip by Lingard.
I think it's a shocker. I really think it's a shocker. That is a leg breaker. No, it's not as bad as I thought, actually.
He's gone with one leg, hasn't he? Not two.
That's how it can feel you sometimes. It's not as bad as I thought. It did look bad, I have to say.
Not as bad as the Manchester United players made it look with their reaction.
Well, my initial reaction as well, Martin, it fooled me. I thought it was a bad one.
And Lingard, who committed the little clip that set that up, really.
Yeah, I'm happy to be wrong. I think you're right, Andre Mariner. Probably is yellow. I think the reaction around the ground was it was a bad one as well. There was a feeling
well, the reaction will be round the ground when 8 Manchester United players chase down the referee.
It's the historic quality, that.
Yeah, but that is an issue in football at the moment, and they are trying to stop that happening. You're not allowed to surround the referee under the new legislation. And it's a free kick to Southampton. And Ibrahimovic, who can head the ball in both penalty areas, does the defensive job for United. Pogba, a little hesitation by Bertrand. They offer something to the Southampton supporters, that it's 50 years since the first Wembley League Cup final, and the team that were 2-0 up lost. That was West Bromwich Albion to Queen's Park Rangers of the 3rd division as it was then, and the scorer of the 5th goal of the game, Mark Lazarus, is here today, or was expected here today.
And they played well enough. Yeah, they played well enough, Southampton. They'll feel unlucky with the offside goal.
Stevens.
In 2 moments, United have got through them.
Gabbiadini. Cedric. Gabbiadini. Redmond in the middle. Prowse won't quite get there. So he goes out of him.
He's done well at times coming in off the side, Ward-Prowse, to get into good central positions that hasn't been picked up.
Well, it's been a strange first half. Here's Tadic, trying to make that 2-1.
He's never comfortable going his right-hand side, Tadic, was he? He made a mess of it. Rojo ends up 1-on-1 in the box against Bailly. Just didn't feel he couldn't wrap his right foot around it.
Well, Jose Mourinho trying to be a 4 times winner of this League Cup and join the list on which is Sir Alex Ferguson. All United's previous wins have been under his jurisdiction, and Brian Clough, of course, who Forest beat Southampton in their only previous League Cup final back in 1979. He also won it 4 times. Bailly. Pogba lost 2 with the turn. Mata. Mata going ahead of Valencia, goes back to Herrera. Manchester United do have a rare free week, and then they play again. the moment it looks as though they might have a trophy to parade in front of the home fans who haven't been able to back the team here at Wembley.
I don't think he'll be thinking that just yet with how Southampton play, but he'll be delighted that he's going in 2-0 up. I say Southampton have probably played the better football in essence, but Manchester United, they've got match winners. And you wondered whether Southampton would be able to handle Manchester United over 90 minutes with the defence. Now they're going to have to score not just 1 goal but 2 goals against a pretty resilient team that aren't used to losing in this last 2 or 3 months.
Redmond. Southampton would love to hit back here. Ward-Prowse, so they have done! Gabbiadini, this one does count. And that puts a different slant on things. He scores for the 3rd game in a row for the Saints. His only 3 appearances for them.
Oh, it's game on, and Manchester United have been warned. The near post run, Bailly lets him go. Gabbiadini's been there for 45 minutes in every single one of these crosses, and he put some good ones in. And he just sneaks it. It's a lovely little touch from Gabbiadini. Just glides it, touches it past De Gea, nicks through his legs.
No more than Southampton deserve.
Oh, now that will give Southampton huge confidence, even though they're still 2-1 down, going back in at half-time. They've scored. And you're not surprised how it came. It's been Southampton's best tactic in this first half. Those lovely crosses across the near post and his runs.
Mata. Here's Pogba. Now Martial. Still life in this first half. A competition that's averaged 3 goals a game right from its early rounds to the final. It hasn't disappointed on the big day in that respect. And it should have been 4. Gabbiadini had one wrongly disallowed and then scores on the stroke of half-time to give Southampton renewed hope in between. Zlatan Ibrahimovic hit a trademark free kick, and Jesse Lingard hit what has become for him a trademark Wembley goal, an inspired selection by Jose Mourinho. It's 2-1 to United at the break. A lot of talk about Michael Carrick starting this final, but he's going to start the second half. And some sympathy for Juan Mata, who's had to go back to Spain and return for this final because of a family bereavement.
No, it's not a surprising change. United have got to stop or try and stop those Southampton wide areas. Far too much joy. The crosses that were having to come in were from really good positions, and they have got good cross to the ball. And those 2 centre-backs, Smalling and Bailly, if they're not aware or they weren't aware, which I'm sure they were, Gabbiadini, they've got to get across the near post and mark him in the box. His runs are fantastic.
Lingard. An awkward run for Valencia. Carrick. Herrera. Marked by Rashida. Already 1 or 2 signs that Southampton aren't quite finding the pockets of spaces that served them so well for much of the first half, where they were clearly the better side. Went in, on the verge of going in 2-0 down, went in with the boost of that very late goal from Gabbiadini. Here's Ward-Prowse who set it up, and an early second half corner.
Well, Tadic, who's going to go and take it. A little bit of joy getting behind Pogba. That's where Michael Carrick is going to have to be alert. Just drifting off the back, the Frenchman. Centre-backs, Stevens and Yoshida to go forward.
swing this in this time. Go towards the near post, allowing Yoshida to find it back into a dangerous area. It's quite cleverly worked by the Saints. Back by Yoshida again. What a volley from Nathan Redmond. He could have hardly have connected better.
He was alone. Bai gets caught under the ball with Stevens. He hits it well. Straight at the hair.
Another corner. Again looking for Yoshida. He can get it down this time. That's another corner out of it. The Southampton supporters now, of course, behind the goal that the Saints are attacking.
He slides in the hole. Just gets a touch at the end.
Right at the end.
Yeah. They're getting put under massive pressure throughout this game so far from crosses.
Southampton looking for an equaliser. And they've got it! Gabbiadini again with that striker's instinct. That's brilliant. They've been wanting a natural finisher all season. They have found one. Either side of half-time, he has wrecked Manchester United's 2-0 lead.
Well, that is special. That is really special. Huge pressure. United can't clear the lines. Pogba heads it up in the air. Martial loses out at the edge of the box. He's got no right. Smalling's so close to him, so tight. How he's turning it, that is so difficult to do. It's an absolutely wonderful goal. And what an impression he's made, Gabbiadini. And Southampton back in this game.
No one has ever scored a hat-trick in a League Cup final, and he should have one. But he's happy enough, Claude Puel, at 2-2 now.
What a goal.
Shades of 50 years ago, and Queen's Park Rangers coming back, but can they find the vital fifth goal of the final, as QPR did at the expense of West Bromwich Albion, the 50th anniversary being honoured here today by the Football League, and they're getting something similar for their money.
At 2-0 at 44 minutes. Who'd have thought 5 minutes later in the game we'd be seeing that? Jose Mourinho's got a lot to think about.
And Lingard, who has been booked, could still be in trouble. Redmond goes on. Gabbiadini eyeing it up again. Bai hasn't got it very far away. Pressure still on Manchester United here. Pogba.
There's a long time since I've watched a game where I've seen a team put in the quality of crosses that Southampton have today. They've been absolutely outstanding in wide areas. Cedric put another one in then.
Well, it's a last warning for Jesse Lingard. Remember, got booked in that Jack Stevens incident just before half-time. And he had a little clip at Nathan Redmond, quite similar to the one he got booked for. In fact, you might say identical.
Yeah, and if Redmond goes down, he's in trouble, Jesse Lingard. He's in big trouble.
Well, Gary, where do we go from here?
Well, we've got a proper game, that's for sure. He'll be delighted with his team. Generally, the performance has been really good, and found himself 2-0 down.
Yoshida covering, forward by Cedric.
But it is the crosses from open play, the crosses from set pieces that have been the absolute highlight for Southampton this game. They've been brilliant in wide areas.
Davis heading it forward, got caught. Saints alive at Wembley.
Been outstanding. Well, this is where your team need to see you, Paul Pogba. Ibrahimovic, they look a little bit dejected at the moment, but they've got 40 minutes. And he needs his big players to stand up.
It was a default position for Jose Mourinho for many years in his first spell at Chelsea. 2-0, game over.
I think he'll be shocked that to get into that position.
And to be fair, winning this trophy is his default position in terms of hunting silverware. Done it both spells with Chelsea to sort of get himself back on the trophy trail. Stevens. Smalling kept his eye on the ball and wasn't distracted by Gabbiadini. Southampton's throw.
I think Jose Mourinho will be thinking about Rashford maybe for Lingard at some point in the next 10 or 15 minutes.
Under that, Gabbiadini. Carrick wanting to play forward, not able to play forward. More Smalling. Pogba.
They were 2-1 up at half time. Been a poor first half, Paul Pogba. He's got to start playing in this game.
Lingard. Now Martial. Spotted well by Yoshida. Very much the leader of this reshaped central defensive pairing. Drawn out into a kind of area where he got his yellow cards on Wednesday. It's some final.
Gabbiadini's been the star, but I have to say that just around him, Ward, Prowse, Redmond and Tadic have been very good in terms of occupying good spaces and then linking with the fullbacks in wide areas.
Romeo. Tadic. Good pressure by Valencia, went in with him and made a successful challenge. Here's Ander Herrera. Carrick. Manchester United showing signs that they've cleared their heads from the shoddy, from their point of view, start to the second half. Bailly.
And those goals just before half-time, even if you're still winning, they do deflate you, there's no doubt. However experienced you are, they've got a lot of experience, Manchester United. It just has that little impact psychologically. And Southampton have gone in at half-time, boosted enormously by that first Gabbiadini goal.
I think he was still a boy when there was a 2-2 between these two clubs at Old Trafford in an FA Cup replay. And your great pal Ryan Giggs had the crucial kick saved by Tim Flowers. And Southampton went through. We're a long way away from a shootout here, but it is on the agenda, just to remind you. Extra time would come first. We've only had 10 minutes of the second half, but we are level.
United just in this last minute or so through Carrick in this position, just starting to get a little bit of control, put a few passes together.
And Redmond followed in, has tried to stop Carrick releasing the pass. Andre Marin's been pretty consistent in this respect, except the one that he let Jesse Lingard get away with. Very experienced official as Mr. Mariner on the FA Cup final. With a shock in that, what he did. Wigan won it. Here's Ibrahimovic taking too long. Strong work by Romeo. Gabbiadini got there first and got caught from behind by Smalling, and that's another one that will come into consideration in the referee's mind. No card. Stern look.
That last United attack, Carrick just playing that ball in through to Herrera. Starting to get a little bit of joy in a few passes in central areas in midfield. You see where Carrick is on the top left of your screen, just looking after Tadic. Just just drifting back with him, sitting in between his left-back and his centre-back, Chris Smalling. Michael Carrick there, just closing that threat off.
Stevens. With Tadic, who's taking him wide, which might not be the daftest thing to do.
No, I think that's what he has to do, Tadic. He has to move Michael Carrick, not just sit in that central area where he can be picked up.
He's got behind Carrick here, but Smalling deals with the ball. She's played actually in towards Nathan Redmond. A very singular man, Claude Puel. Does a lot of the work himself on the training ground. I don't think going down the pub with the lads is quite his style. And he's a disciple of Arsene Wenger. I think had a bit of influence in Southampton's decision to bring him into the Premier League and the EFL Cup. Forster made a mistake here, and is he going to be able to make up for it? At the moment, just not totally yet. Goalkeeper still hoping that this doesn't lead to a third Manchester United goal. Valencia and Pogba and Martial confusing each other.
What are they doing?
Ibrahimovic, who does know what he's doing, cleared by Romeo.
It's Martial's ball. I'm not quite sure why Pogba even gets involved. Not sure, quite sure why Martial let it go. They're both shaking their heads at one another. It's a lovely little dink across from Valencia behind Southampton's defenders and midfielders. He should just hit it, Martial. It's on his right foot, coming off the left side.
Abbiadini's flick as he was being fouled.
And he spun him behind Rojo.
Looking too well, Fraser Forster.
He's stretching his hamstring.
Davis, rather straight down the slot from Smalling's perspective. And Herrera, now the referee. Another issue to deal with here.
He's holding his face, Herrera. Up for a 50-50 in the air, both of them jumping.
Sense of injustice for Ander Herrera.
It is an elbow from Romeo into the side of Herrera's cheek. He's looking right at it.
His arm was pointing upwards. Well, I've been around the game long enough to know that the pros think it's part of it to get opponents sent off, but doesn't make it any more tasteful.
I think that's the big calls that Andre Marin is still going to have in this game with half an hour to go, because there's quite a few players on yellow cards.
It's interesting, the PFA have never taken a stance on that, the Players' Union. Pogba.
He was quick out of the blocks, wasn't he, Andre Marino, with his yellow cards early in the game. He didn't allow the game to breathe and settle down. For both teams, he has been consistent.
Totally agree with you. Here's Cedric trying to cross Martial, who doesn't naturally want to do that side of the game, but it's been drilled into it and did it well then. Romeo into Redmond. Here's Davis. Always full of good common sense in midfield. Romeo, Redmond. Southampton come at Manchester United again. An awkward one for Gabbiadini to deal with, and also for Antonio Valencia, as Bertrand was moving in for the kill.
That was brilliant from Southampton. It really was a brilliant passage of play. He smashes it across Ward-Prowse, and that from Davis is fantastic. And again, it's those crosses from what are such difficult areas to get to the byline and stick it across goal, and it's Valencia at the back post. Brilliant from him, really was.
Ward-Prowse to take the corner. So close. Oriol Romeo. Well, I said at the start he's not a goal threat. He certainly was then.
Oh, they're just wicked. They're absolutely wicked. On a sixpence, 6-yard box. Any touch from a Southampton player, and there's trouble. And he's helpless, David Aya. He's nowhere near it. He needs the post.
It's coming in again from Tadic. Smalling straining to get the header away. Carrick looking for help from Lingard. Calls forward by Yoshida. Bit of a tangle involving Ward-Prowse, who is penalised.
Well, the pattern of this game in terms of Southampton attacks isn't changing. Every time that ball gets played into the box, they're a huge threat. So close for Romeo.
He's a 1 in 35 man, Oriol Romeo. And that was nearly his latest contribution to improve that average. Headed on by Tadic. Rojas to play it back. Romeo wins another header. Ward-Prowse. Well, they have lit up the stadium, Southampton. Now their supporters are doing the same.
It's like a Celine Dion concert.
Well, you would know. Here's Ibrahimovic. It's time for Wayne Rooney. Will it be a Wayne Rooney concert? Here's Pogba. Ward-Prowse. Gabbiadini. Not going to get that back. It's a rare poor ball from James Ward-Prowse. Just stabbed at it.
No, what's clear about Gabbiadini is he's not a runner from outside the box, but his touch play and linking players in, his movement in the box is fantastic.
That's better from Pogba. Showed extra strength and energy against Davis. Rojo. Well, we can talk about all the tactics in the world, but we're in a situation here, 20 minutes into the second half. It's going to be drive, determination, application, energy.
Both teams have to dig in for different reasons. Southampton, they put so much into this match. At the pace they've played United, they've had such a cruel run of games over the last couple of months. Games every 3 or 4 days. You have to dig deep.
A bit fortunately made his own luck, Maya Yoshida. Playing like 2 men at the moment. Help particularly the younger central defender Stevens. Romeo. Ibrahimovic gets involved, but Ward-Prowse guides it back to Bertrand, who hasn't been able to spring on so much in the second half.
No, I have to say that I think Lingard has done a pretty good job, and I think it was tougher matter in the first half. I think they just got a little bit more energy, more legs. And there is a little bit of tactical play. You see Carrick there dropping back onto Tadic, trying to stop.
Tadic trying to run off him, in behind. Tadic is free now. It's gone centrally and pushed over Ward-Prowse. A little bit of rotation between the two Southampton players.
As they've done a few times. I have to say that Redmond and Ward-Prowse have been good at coming in off the line, getting into a central area. Michael Carrick just nudging him over.
To be fair to Jose Mourinho, he was concerned about that.
Yeah.
And maybe the introduction of Lingard from the start was an attempt to deal with it, but Lingard's got a goal for him. Hasn't really curbed that particular side of the match for Manchester United. The voices come from Hampshire.
And Romeo's free at the back. No one's picking him up.
It's towards him. Any well will do for Zlatan Ibrahimovic. At least it gives Manchester United a chance to push out.
Yeah, usually there, I have to say that your big players have to come out to the right-hand side. It was obvious that Southampton were weighted towards that side with Yoshida and Romeo. And Valencia was left on his own.
I'm sure Force is in the best shape to do too much kicking here. Put his foot through this one. Find Redmond. Redmond's already got a winner's medal in this competition. He didn't play in the final for Birmingham, a famous upset against Arsenal in 2011. He played a couple of games in the earlier rounds as a 16-year-old, and they gave him a spare medal at the end, and he got it. So we're looking to double up in that respect if Southampton can find a way in the last quarter of the game to get their noses in front, which would be, of course, for the first time in this final. Push by Bertrand.
Well, from a United point of view, the game plan has just got to be to not concede another goal and win it in a moment, like the first half, really. Sometimes teams, when they're not playing well, they have to win them in moments. Southampton certainly are playing better.
Martial taking them on. And Lingard. The Wembley specialist was in to poach again. He's now got to take a corner rather than celebrate another goal. He's picked out Herrera with a short one. Lingard's cross. Of course, could have been told to let it go, but when you're not, that's what you do.
Yeah, let it go or catch it. I have to say, talk about moments. Martial's run there. That's how United are going to win this game, because not playing well.
Pogba trying to make progress, which was unfairly interrupted. Well, we haven't seen so much of it, and you've made a very good point, Gary, that Southampton have crossed the ball the better, but Manchester United do have the size.
They do, they've got the superior height, Manchester United. They haven't had the delivery and the regularity of the delivery that Southampton have had.
Taken by Herrera, not using the height. Carrick. A lot of players to try and fire it through if that routine was to come off.
Well, this is the Martial run. Good little pass to Lingard. Yoshida as well to get across. He's a huge threat, Martial. If United can get him the ball, which they haven't been able to do too many times.
Good work by Yoshida again.
It was a good tackle.
Player of real responsibility. Pogba. Forward by Ander Herrera. Met by Yoshida. Up goes Herrera. There's Yoshida again. It's that kind of contest. Red and white against white and red. It is a very good match. Cedric, and then there's Davis who glanced it on. Now Romeo. Bertrand. And Romeo playing in a game against Manchester United for Chelsea that finished 5-4. Was in this competition. Ward-Prowse. Oh, it's Redmond coming in, and a very calm piece of play back to the goalkeeper by Herrera.
Oh, it was good from Herrera. He needed to be there. United were in big trouble.
Valencia. Pogba. Carrick. Rooney was lined up to come on, but it's like it might be Marcus Rashford, as you predicted.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I think it'll be Rashford for Lingard.
Pogba looking for that connection with Ibrahimovic again. Pogba goes down. I think it was a foul. The referee thinking that United might get something as the ball went forward, with Lingard involved there.
Well, they paid for giving a needless free kick away in the first half. Southampton, I'm sure he'll be nervous, Fraser Forster. It'll be interesting to see how he does set that wall up.
Plenty of big occasions on his CV when he was Celtic's goalkeeper. Cup finals, some won, some lost.
And is he going to fool him this time, Ibrahimovic, and make him think he's going to go over the wall, but then go in the same corner where the goalkeeper stood?
In this position, goes into the wall.
Oh, he makes a mess of it.
Rashford is ready. But more control of possession for United again. Well, I say again, they've had many periods of it. Rojo. Romeo. So Southampton have got quite a weapon from the bench in Shane Long. Here's Lingard, stroked aside by Yoshida, but Pogba's got it back. Play getting a little scrappier. Brilliant from Ibrahimovic. Again, it's the axis between him and the Frenchman, Paul Pogba.
Yeah, he battled his way through, Pogba. Kept on going, and this was fantastic.
That's what I mean. At times it's muck and nettles going now, isn't it? You can train all you like, be sophisticated in your strategies, but sometimes you just got to go out there and manufacture a victory somehow in a game as tight as this, as exciting as this. Make yourself a hero. Deep corner.
It's a poor corner.
Collected though by Martial. Carrick. Smalling. Repositioned sensibly and quickly. Valencia. Pogba. Carrick. Patiently shuttled from right to left by Manchester United. And it comes for Jesse Lingard! Well, goal kick given. And that may well be Lingard's last touch.
Well, in the first half, he kept his composure when he scored. This time, he's a little rash. Too much body movement and slices it over, tries to put too much power into it.
Well, he changes places with his great pal. Inseparable around the Manchester United training ground, these two. And to bring on Sofiane Boufal, who cost a lot of money. Record signing. They scored a wonderful goal earlier in this competition to beat Sunderland in their second game. They saw off Crystal Palace and Sunderland before they got to grips with the likes of Arsenal and Liverpool and now United. Boufal brawn in France, but he's a Moroccan international. He's definitely won the signing that Claude Puel put into place. Ibrahimovic just getting away momentarily from Stevens, and then yet again Yoshida.
He does well. He does well. Stevens ends up against Ibrahimovic and realises the danger and gets across.
Herrera. Southampton have hit the frame of the goal, and if we weren't with us right from the start, very early on, had a good and proper goal disallowed wrongly for offside. Redmond after the surge from Boufal. Yoshida. Stevens. Romeo. Southampton's turn. Put some passes together. Redmond. Well, there was the ball or the balloon on the far side for a moment. Pogba losing out. Dini looking a bit more isolated in the shape of the game over the last 10 minutes. Here's Valencia. It's offside. Ibrahimovic given offside.
United just last 2 or 3 minutes have pressed forward. It will be the period in the game where Southampton, the energy they've put in, the speed of the game, get tougher for them.
There's a question that was asked before the game, Gary. What would be your preference, to play every 3 or 4 days as United have been doing, or have 2 weeks without a competitive fixture as Southampton have done? It's not quite as straightforward as it sounds, is it?
No, it's not. And I think that United players have been, if you like, used to those every 3 or 4 days where...
Battle-hardened.
Yeah, battle-hardened, robust, resilient, and that's what they've built up in this last 3 months. And they're going to need it today, because Southampton are putting a fantastic performance.
Mistake by Smalling. Dini redeems himself. Pogba. It really is edge-of-the-seat stuff at Wembley. Slipped by Redmond. Fitness will certainly play a part. It's strong of mind as well as strength of body. Rashford.
I mean, you just start to dip physically in the game. Your concentration, your focus can sometimes shift with it. And we are entering into that period where a goal against causes you a lot of pain.
Here's the fresh legs of Boufal. Trying a bit too much, not for the first time in the short space which he's been on. He's obviously come on with instructions, get the ball and get at them.
Well, he looks lively, but he's got to release the ball. More Prowse and Gabbiadini in good positions. And for the solo run.
Pogba. Off goes Valencia. Remains a very good athlete. Well past his 30th birthday now. The test of the athleticism is getting back. Thanks to Herrera breaking up the play, he can do it. Does it by the referee with a little bit of a complaint, maybe. Boufal. Here's Redmond. Still Redmond. Corner. This is the end at which he scored. Norwich in the playoff win over Middlesbrough.
Just a little nick, a couple of shots in the first half, just off Michael Carrick's heel.
Was he ever close in your thinking, in your time with England for the senior setup? He had a great under-21 record.
He was getting into the reckoning, yeah. Him and Ward-Prowse were discussed, obviously very important players in the under-21s. I mean, Ward-Prowse generally was for this, because it's
Challenge reverted from the corner by United, but it's Southampton's throw. Shane Long. What an announcement he has made in English football. 5 goals in 3 games, and it should be 6, and he should be walking off for the match ball. Don't want to labour the point because officials are human, and it was a tight call. Great support from the ownership of Southampton, all the fans, his teammates. Shane Long, another who scored at Wembley, did it for the Republic of Ireland against England.
Just as the game goes on, maybe a little bit more isolated, Shane Long will provide a lot of energy up there. He won't stop running.
Redmond. Pogba. Now Davis. Giving it away to Martial. Oh, mistake by Herrera. Good anticipation by Redmond. Good covering. Typical of Michael Carrick. The back pass wasn't great for De Gea.
No, and that's what Long will do. He'll put people under pressure.
Ward-Prowse. Oh, it's a nervy one from Stevens. Carrick. Ibrahimovic just held the line well, looking across it to stay onside. And he's reversed it for Rashford. And again, that must have been a tight call. Good stop by Forster. More threatening from United.
It was the power that caused Rashford Forster the problem. He gets his body down well this time. Uses his feet.
Amazing year. Rashford, who burst onto the scene last February. Total unknown outside Old Trafford. That's Ibrahimovic, and that's gone. Louis Ferreira making sure Wayne Rooney understands his responsibilities, attacking and defending set pieces.
You can't think it'll be Ibrahimovic that's coming off, and I'm not sure that.
Here's Bertrand. Oh, and Long missed it, and there's Ward-Prowse behind him as well. And so nervous for Manchester United that they've conceded a corner.
Well, they've had to defend some crosses, Manchester United today, and it's Bertrand again. It's a wonderful run. Rashford doesn't stay with him, and they go flying into the near post, Smalling and Long, and asking for a penalty. I certainly think he would have wanted a touch on the ball from one of his players. Across
the players
that
weren't really so earnest in the penalty appeals. They want to attack the corner here. And it was Stevens who headed it goalwards. Ibrahimovic defended.
Well, they've got so many first contacts, Southampton.
Zlatan there again. Smalling. Oh, and now Ibrahimovic has got Rashford for company. A young man with a Midas touch. Ibrahimovic. Carrick. Southampton a bit stretched. Martial fires it out to Ander Herrera. Ibrahimovic! United lead with 4 minutes to go. Right cross, right man. Jose Mourinho, maybe now the right result, having let the lead slip.
Well, we've talked about crosses at the other end, about how Southampton's delivery has been fantastic, but it's a cross from Ander Herrera, and you could see it coming from seconds before. He was there alone, the main man in the middle of the box, and he isn't going to miss that, and he's given his team an incredible chance. It's past Forster, the pace beats him, and Wayne Rooney jumps up with the rest of those Manchester United fans behind him. He may or may not be coming on now. Dejected, gutted, those two centre-backs.
Heartbreak for Southampton, but delirium for Manchester United, who have taken their chances, especially him. Without him, what would their season have been?
Well,
26 goals. It's not Rooney, it's Fellaini now.
No, it's Fellaini for set pieces. I have to say, Ibrahimovic, a beacon on the pitch, off the pitch, in the dressing room, everything. What a professional, and heartbreak at the moment, but there's still time. There's still time.
Martial, but the whistle has gone against Ibrahimovic. And radiates confidence. Gabbiadini, who has also scored twice, is got a loser's expression written all over his face. And here's Fellaini, who's been used quite often by Jose Mourinho. Not started a League Cup game all season. Played a matter of minutes in these kind of circumstances. Replaces Martial.
Jose Mourinho defending his lead, or trying to defend his lead. He knows that crosses, those balls into the box, set pieces have been a huge problem for his team, and he's got a giant coming on to try and help win those headers.
Jay Rodriguez for Stephen Davis. They've got to try and get another chance, another attacker on. Now the lights have switched ends.
It's now the Manchester United fans.
Ibrahimovic, who now has the chance to be the first ever League Cup finalist to get a hat-trick. So he might be thinking more about playing his part defensively to make sure that this lead isn't lost.
26 goals already. Ibrahimovic wants to play every game, train every minute. Incredible level of performance, consistency, he wins trophies wherever he goes. He's on the brink.
No one else in double figures for Manchester United, incidentally.
He's on the brink. He's winning one for his team here today.
And here is Valencia, it's just gone out. But it was the weakness that you talked about right at the beginning. Could the central defenders curb Ibrahimovic? Of course, the first goal was a free kick, which they could do nothing about, but that softish centre right at the end looks as though it's going to be the difference.
And leaving that man free 6 yards out in the middle of the box. Just can't happen.
Romeo. Actually, there might be a break or two on for United with the Southampton set up as they are now. There's such a commitment to attack. 90 seconds of the last 4 minutes of added time. Rashford.
He's been
Ibrahimovic.
Yeah, he's been wasteful since he's come on, Boufal. Wasted the ball. And they can't afford that now. Southampton, they've got to try and get some possession. higher up the pitch. His crosses from there are nowhere near as dangerous as the ones they've been putting all afternoon.
There's been a bit of poo-pooing, hasn't there, of Paris Saint-Germain. He's get lots of goals in that set-up one-team league, although that's not the case this season. But Ibrahimovic has stepped out of that when he could have taken an easier option, maybe. And said he's walked into that Manchester United dressing room. You know how difficult that is to exist, even for talented players. He's gone in there and he said, I am the man, and I'm going to show you game in, game out that I am the man. And he's done it again.
Well, he's got guts and character and personality, and he fills that shirt well. And it's what that club, it's what the team needed after 3 years that have been tough. But he's there in the middle of the goal, gaping. Southampton have performed as a team brilliantly well, but they've been beaten in moments by a resilient Manchester United team who over the last couple of months have known how to get over the line.
Buffal. He loves a big centre forward, Jose Mourinho, but Southampton need one now. The shot from Bertrand, asking for handball.
Oh, he hit it well, Bertrand.
Jose Mourinho's had the like at Drogba and Diego Costa. And only before that it will be a free kick United's way and use up more time, which is a commodity that Southampton can't deal in at the moment time. And well, shades of that final, of course, France and Portugal. The Euros said it was on the right end of that, at the wrong end today. But Southampton have given a wonderful account of themselves.
They have, they've been fantastic. They really have. But they've conceded 3 goals, and he'll rue the mistakes, lapses in concentration that in finals you pay for, because his team couldn't have played any better. It's the moments that have beaten them.
It's Ibrahimovic who has beaten them. His day, a 5th League Cup for Manchester United, a 4th for Jose Mourinho, who will be full of respect for what the opposition put before him and his players. A 44th major trophy for the club from Old Trafford. Southampton came here having not conceded in this competition. They should have led 1-0, his goal disallowed right at the start. Then they found themselves 2-0 down and Gabbiadini struck twice, but a 2 from Ibrahimovic in the end, the deciding factor. The Saints not quite able to quite summon up the spirit of '76. This rigorous schedule of fixtures has put the steel into Manchester United. The 2-week wait in the end didn't help Southampton, but they gave it absolutely everything. Gary Neville.
Well, that picture tells everything. Young Jack Stevens. Manchester United are celebrating. They have match winners. You always thought before the game that Southampton could play well, probably would play well, but could they stop the big players that Manchester United have, the match winners, and particularly Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who's immense for Manchester United, and they dejected those Southampton players. They couldn't have given any more. They really couldn't. They performed well, but what a player, what an example. When you think about 2-day recoveries, you think about rest, you think Saint-Etienne in a game that was dead in midweek, he travelled over, he played. At his age, he doesn't need rest, he just wants to play football. He still kept that spirit that you should have as a child, of wanting to play every single second, every single minute, and he grabs big games. The term world class is thrown around a lot in football, but he's one that warrants it for his career and what he's achieved at such big clubs all around Europe.
A nice shake of the head from Claude Puel, who believed he had the tools to get the trophy, and there were times where it clearly looked as though he did have.
He coached his team well in that 2 weeks. They put in a really good tactical display. It was the moments, the lapses in concentration, just not picking up players, giving that free kick away, little things that cost you. and he was fantastic. He scored a goal that was sensational. That second goal was absolutely brilliant.
Well, let's hear from Michael Carrick, who's with Guy Havertz.
Michael, it's a day when we only remember the winners. Was it a hard slog today, but you came out on top?
It's probably a good job, really, because I think we weren't at our best. They've had chances, we've had chances. It was a terrific final. I think sometimes finals can be quite difficult in the fact that teams cancel each other out, but today both teams went for it, and plenty of chances, plenty of goals, and delighted obviously to come away with a win. I mean, that's all that matters in finals, and we're just so happy to get this trophy, and hopefully this will kick us on for the rest of the season.
That man Zlatan has done it again.
It's incredible. I mean, people keep asking questions of him, and this season to play them that many games to start with is some achievement. The goals with it, big goals, big important goals, and today there's none bigger than today, and he's won us the cup.
It's the first trophy, obviously, for the new manager. How important is it?
It's massive. I don't think it's hard to explain how big it is, but I think as a group, the FA Cup was big last year. I think for this group of players to get that winning feeling, and we carried on in the Community Shield, and today again, it was a big one for us. We knew it was going into the game. We really sensed it, and I think, to achieve it now was great, and now we can look forward again.
Thanks, Michael.
Cheers, thank you.
Zlatan, yet again, you're the man of the moment. How emotional was that for you today?
It was nice. It was very nice because we were winning 2-0. They come up to 2-2. We look a bit tired in the second, but I got the opportunity and I scored. And fantastic cross from Herrera. And this is a team effort. This is not about an individual. This is collective. And this is what I came for. I came to win, and I'm winning. So I just have to keep going, because the more I win, the more satisfied I get. So that's me.
You, of course, scored a winning goal for Ajax all those years ago when you were just 20. You're 35 now. Does it get more special to win trophies the older you get?
Exactly. I think you appreciate it more the older you get. In the beginning, it's more like hype, more fun. You don't realize what the trophy means. The older I got, the more mature I got, the more surrounding I got by the winning mentality, the more I understood that it's all about winning. It's all about collecting these trophies. And that is what I'm doing. I think this was my 32 trophy, and wow, I'm super happy. Wherever I went, I won.
You've had a truly phenomenal season. You've scored more goals than anyone in the whole of England. Even by your high standards, has it gone better than you could have expected when you signed during the summer?
No, this is what I predicted. Everything I saw would happen. The only thing the other ones didn't see it. And I came here to show them what I saw and what I would do. And I'm doing it. Because apparently to many I could not do it. My friend, I keep going. I keep doing what I'm doing every year. And I'm enjoying the game. The only thing is I'm enjoying it now in England.
Strange feeling for Wayne Rooney here, not having been involved in the game, but the club captain, and how many more times? He's still on 549 appearances. He wanted one to round that up today. Up he goes, plenty of smiles. And Jose Mourinho, incidentally, has made a bit of Manchester United history. He's the first manager to win a trophy in his first season at the club. Pointed out to him a couple of days ago, and I think he enjoyed the potential accolade, though he was taking nothing for granted. The EFL Cup effort, plenty of that. Finesse in the end, luck early on. They're waiting for the boss.
He's used this trophy before as a springboard, and he'll be hoping that's what happens again. His new club.
Well, they're putting one competition to bed, and the prize in the cabinet, and still attacking the season on 3 other fronts. This new Wembley is now becoming a second home for them. 4 visits in 10 months, 4 wins, all decided by very late goals. This piece of silverware will join the FA Cup and the Community Shield up at Old Trafford. What a run. 1 defeat in 26 now, 6 straight wins. favourites going in. Plenty of times during the match. That's the man of the match, the Alan Harlager trophy for Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Well, sometimes ego and arrogance and confidence are disliked, but I think sometimes people can pull it off, and he certainly does. See his interview, I came here to win and I'm winning.
Oh, you're talking about Zlatan, not Jose.
Well, I think it was important when Jose Mourinho came to Manchester United. They had a player on the pitch who believed and thought the same as him, and he's got one there. And that's why he brought him. He's a serial winner, the manager, and so is Ibrahimovic. He's won wherever he's been, and he needs somebody who can carry the personality, character onto the pitch, and he has him.
It's a bit tight up there for these presentations. Players to get their medals, and there are plenty of them, before the trophy itself. Martial gets his souvenir. Well, the FA Cup in May, the League Cup now for the fifth time. Manchester United very much back to their winning ways. That's not what you come here for. You come here for the prize, and that's gone to Manchester United by 3 goals to 2.
He describes Zlatan Ibrahimovic as a phenomenal player before the game. After what you've seen today, is there a word to describe him?
Yeah, I think honestly he won the game for us because he was outstanding. I can see a couple of performances, for example Pogba, similar level, but he was outstanding. And in a match where our opponent was better than us for long periods of the game, a game where I think they deserve to go to extra time. They don't deserve to lose over 90 minutes. He made the difference, and they gave us a cup.
Your players are celebrating behind you. Why are you not celebrating with them?
It's for them. It's for them. It's for them. It's for the fans. I take this because I won 4 times. I take this from him.
Yes, as you say, you've made history today. You said it's not about you, but what does it mean? Do you still get the same buzz when you win a trophy?
I have. If you remember my last one here with Chelsea against Tottenham, I was emotional too. You know, winning is always special, and the day I don't get
to their winning ways.
Oh my god.